Hello. I'm back in my little spot, and I thought today maybe I'd do for you guys a little story time. This is the story of how that one time I got hit by a car. It sounds like a lot, but I live in Saigon, which is in Vietnam, and everyone here has like a little motorbike. So it's kind of like normal. It's usual for everyone to have a motorbike here. And so I was not doing anything crazy. It was just a normal afternoon in my neighborhood. This was during my senior year of high school, and it was the period where it was right before exams, but after, like, we had a little study break period. So it was during that. And so as I'm making a turn, this taxi that was parked just did not look, did not turn on the light, did not anything. He just turned out, and I ended up getting hit while I was making my turn. A friend of mine was actually running in the neighborhood, and he saw from the distance like a curly haired girl, and he was like, "Is that Cindy?" And it was indeed me. And so he's the one that took me to the ER. By the time my mother got there, she was kind of like, "Nobody touch her face. Nobody touch her face. I want a plastic surgeon here only. Otherwise, nobody touch her face." Essentially, the doctor had to kind of like rip the scar a little bit more. So now when I open my eye, it like lines up with the crease. And when I close my eye, you can see the scar. And I also had 3 stitches here, 1 stitch here. And yeah, because it was during the study break period, it kind of worked out a little bit well, because that first week I got to kind of just like lie at home and just like sit and heal and lie down and heal. My boyfriend at the time, he would basically like carry me from the bed to the couch in the morning, go to work, come back, and then carry me from the couch to the bed. It was, yeah, I was a little bit out. But like I said, this was right before exams. And so when I got hit, I didn't really tell anybody. I was just like healing, you know? And so when I walked into the exam room, like my teachers and my classmates were like, "What the fuck?" Like just horrified, because yeah, I was messed up a little bit. And the teacher in charge, she pulled me to the side and she asked me if I wanted to delay my high school exams for 6 months, which did not make sense to me. I already had a grad trip booked, and so like, no, we're not gonna do that. And so I ended up taking my exams like with my right hand, sometimes having to switch with my left, and then having one leg elevated because it was still at that point in the healing process. And like, yeah, it was a lot. I was also on painkillers at the time too. But I don't know, I think I kind of like reached this flow state. Maybe it was the medicine, I don't know. It ended up being pretty chill. Right after exams, I was still hopping and limping in and out of the room. I flew to my grad trip. I had already had something booked. And I know that sounds like really, but also, if I'm gonna be healing, like, I'd rather be healing on a beach rather than be healing at home. You know, I'm gonna be healing either way. I'd rather do it on a beach with cocktails with my boyfriend. Like, what am I gonna do? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm on a beach with my boyfriend chilling. Like, it's, you know what I mean? I would rather just stick with the plan. So yeah, a couple weeks after that was the actual ceremony though. And when I walked in, I was in 6-inch heels and I sang at the ceremony. So I get it. From the outside perspective, I was like normal, and then I show up like super fucked up, and then I show up again and I'm perfectly fine. But from my perspective, like, I just did the thing, you know, like I got injured, I healed, and then yeah, I was back to normal. And then a couple years ago, I was out one night and I just fell at an awkward angle, and I ended up getting 4 stitches on the side. So it was 3, 1 here, and then 4 here. But like, here's the wild part. Okay, here's the wild part. Like, my eyebrows are now even again. I don't know. It's just balance, I guess. When I got this forehead scar and I got home from the ER, I realized a few years prior, I did this short film in Da Nang, and my character needed like special SFX prosthetics things. And so I had the wound in the exact same place. And so I was like, wait, looking back in my pictures, trying to compare to see how realistic it was, like I would totally put it up on the screen, but I don't think YouTube likes that. When I got to the ER for this one, the doctors actually kept me a little bit longer than needed because they thought I was in shock. Like, but it turns out I just have dry humor. So with this injury, I walked in and I was just like, hey, like, I think I need to be patched up. And so while they were like, you know, checking me out and everything like that, the doctor asked me if I was in shock. And I was like, I don't know what it's like to be in shock. Like, do I look like I'm in shock, like I'm just kind of vibing. And so they kept me for a longer time because I kept making jokes. And yeah, a year later after that, I fell again. And I needed stitches in my mouth, and also I chipped my tooth. And so I went to the same ER, and while they were stitching me up, I was asking for dentist recommendations. And so they also thought I was in shock yet again. But this time, the doctor that was there last year, he was on shift, and he walked in, he was like, oh yeah, like she's not in shock, she's just kind of like this. Like, this is such a ridiculous story. And this injury, the one on the lip, was also right before a beach trip. It was like 2 days before the beach trip. And so, yeah, like by noon the next day, I had new teeth put in, and same thing. I was healing on a beach in Mexico. What am I gonna do? Complain about being on a beach with some cocktails and my boyfriend in Mexico? Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. And also, I still get it because, you know, yeah, I got really injured. And on Instagram, I was just like, cute. Because the way that I see it, when I take the pictures, yes, I have my injury, but it's like a purple dot. Like, it's not, like, I'm not gonna remember the injury. Like, and I don't, you know, like, I remember the beach, I remember the food, I remember like having fun. I don't really remember the injury that much. I remember like struggling to eat around it, but yeah. But this is why I can't take it seriously. Like, my life sounds like a sitcom sometimes. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, whenever I get injured, I know that I'm hot. It's just that I'm not hot right now, you know? And so I have a good relationship with it. And also, like, you know, there's like lasers and stuff. And I'm not really in the public eye, like professionally anymore. And so I'm kind of chill with it. I just hope that those are the last of my falls, that there will be no more falls that is touching my face. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's 3 times and then done. I hope so, at least. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and yeah, I'll see you next time.